All right, welcome everybody to the Ultimate Arm Wrestling League live, being brought to you right now by the UAL. And a lot of people know that the big tournament is coming up here in Hawthorne, Nevada. We've got Kyle and we've got Billy and we've got the CEO of the Ultimate Arm Wrestling League, Bill Collins, in the room tonight. Hopefully, we'll be visited by Devon Larratt later on if he makes it out of practice in time. But for tonight, we are going to go ahead and introduce the CEO first, Bill Collins of the UAL. Say hello.
Hello, everybody. Glad you could tune in and listen to the good news we got for you.
Would you like to introduce our guests, Billy and Kyle?
Yeah, so Billy Williams, I don't know, he has a lot of history on the Hawthorne event. I call him the special event coordinator because he puts on the special stuff for the event. He's got lots of years, lots of history behind the Hawthorne event. And, I couldn't ask for a better partner to make sure that everything runs smooth for us. Kyle, I don't know, some of you guys may or may not know Kyle. He's actually was a pretty decent arm wrestler till he went MIA in the sport, competing anyways. But he's back in action. He loves the sport. And if it wasn't for Kyle, we probably wouldn't be having this event because it's so expensive to put one of these things on. And our whole objective is to take over Hawthorne like we used to do when we had the Kenny Bostic Freedom Pool under Billy's watch. And when I say take over the town, the arm wrestlers actually took over the town. So we're hoping to do it again. And this year, actually, it's going to be pretty cool because they got a pyro convention. So we're going to have fireworks, we're going to have arm wrestling, and we're going to blow the town up.
That sounds good, Bill. Thank you so much, and welcome to Billy and Kyle. And let's get started. We're going to start with Kyle. How did you first get involved with the Ultimate Arm Wrestling League?
I think that's when I think that was the California State Championships when I met Bill. I won it. I was training with a guy named Pete Hinsey, and I just got super addicted to it, man. I loved it. I was in arm wrestling for a couple years prior to that. There was a tournament in Hawthorne, actually, and I had a baseball tournament the next day, so I only pulled with my deal, and I just got hooked ever since. It was kind of. Then I met Bill, and I pulled in every tournament I could between Nevada and California, and yeah, I love the tournaments that Bill runs. He does a great job. He's professional. And yeah, when I thought about this whole thing, he was the first person I contacted.
Awesome. Now these tournaments are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every year. What are your plans to make the Nevada State Championship bigger for next year?
So I don't want to give away too much information, but me and Bill have been talking about this. We're already working on next year's deal. Billy Williams is in this as well. We have a lot more prize money going next year. I think arm wrestling's got the potential to get big. Everything starts out small. You looked at UFC when it first started, and everybody kind of made fun of it like it wasn't going to happen. And I think arm wrestling is one of the most challenging sports. I mean, that's why I couldn't stay in it. It's brutal, and the time that it takes to train to be a great top level competitor. Just not everybody wants to do it. And then I think we have an opportunity here to take advantage of this and make this into something that grows huge. We end up maybe having a lineup card full of athletes similar to what boxing and UFC does. And we still run the tournament, but we're working on that.
Well, it's exciting stuff. It's exciting stuff. And obviously from past events, I think people will be a little bit more excited each year as it goes on. So I'm looking forward to that. But in the past years, arm wrestling seemed to kind of like take over Hawthorne, Nevada. And was this kind of tied to the Freedom Day celebration, or is there more to that?
I think Kyle must be hitting a bad spot there while he's driving.
It might have just been the best question ever, and he just like didn't know how to answer it. Kyle, are you still with us? You gotta love technology. You gotta love it.
Right. You know what? Why don't you pass that question over to Billy? I bet he can answer that.
Yeah, Billy. So let me ask you this: in the past years, arm wrestling seemed to take over Hawthorne, Nevada, and was this due to the Freedom Day celebration?
Well, my buddy of mine, my best friend, started it here. Gosh, late '80s, before I actually moved back here. And he would scrounge prize money together from the local people here that would donate and put together a tournament. And guys would come here and win their entry fee on their way to go to the Biltmore the next night. And it just started from there, real small, and did it for years, just local stuff. And then another friend of mine, Buck Hall, got involved, a little more money. We got Bill involved, and we started getting some big name guys. And we show them a good time. When they show up, they have a good time here. Everybody has a safe tournament. It's a fun town. They're welcome here. And every year it grows. I mean, this is a small town in the middle of nowhere in Nevada, and we have had world champions, you know, everybody. Brzink's been here. Ron Bath loves this place, him and Angie both. It's just great. And then Bill does a great job on the tournament.
Yeah,
So.
and sometimes the best places to pull are the little secret places that nobody's ever heard of. And I tell you what, I've heard nothing but great things about Hawthorne, Nevada, and I've heard nothing but great things about your tournament. So now that we've officially lost Kyle, and we're praying for Kyle right now. We're hoping that he comes back. So everybody say a prayer and bow your head for Kyle. Hopefully he comes back soon. But Billy, how did you get involved with the Hawthorne Championship?
So, like I said, it was my best friend that started it. So I moved back here and started arm wrestling in '91 and got involved with him. And, you know, back then there's no technology. What we would do was print flyers, and we would take it to every truck stop and gas station and everything around the state. And then word of mouth, and we'd throw a little blurb in the Armbender magazine, and guys would show up. Like I said, they'd come through town. And back then we were given $250 first place, so that was quite a bit of money. And
absolutely.
So they'd win their entry fee money for the Biltmore and hit up Tahoe the next day.
And what's the story behind the UAL's partnership with this event?
Well, just Bill always does such a great job at any event that he puts on, and so it was. We just threw it out there like, hey, let's see if we can get him to come help make this grow, because we know that he's gonna, you know, put the most effort into getting it to where we want it to be. And every year it's grown and it's gotten bigger. And we didn't have it this year. Our main sponsor moved out of town and everything, and it just I kind of lost heart in it myself. And then when Kyle picked up the reins and said he was going to try to do it, I said, you know, well, hey, go get a hold of Bill, and if he's in, we'll see what we can do. Trying to start it up again.
Well, absolutely. And when you say that, you know, I mean, obviously a lot of people lose hope, but, you know, it's that old phrase, never give up. And you know, I salute all you guys for continuing to do this, because it's, like, as you said, I mean, this started off very small. I mean, the event started from a parking lot, and now it's in a convention center. So who knows what's next? And I mean, I'm actually excited for it. But do you see this growth continuing? Do you plan on making this bigger and better? And I know Kyle was talking about UFC style. I mean, what's the next move after this? And I'm sure this year is going to be successful. You're going to have Devon Larratt there. You're going to have all kinds of different pullers that are going to be there. And some of these guys, they don't even say I'm coming. They just show up. So you never know who's going to be there. What are your plans to make this a bigger and better event?
You know, we have to get him here to this one, which is a big part of why we reached out to Devon to come, because we know that people will come to see him. Our other champions that show up, I mean, you got Cody Merritt, you got Rob Topi, guys that show up every year just because we love it. And, you know, have become friends of mine over the years, Bob Brown and everybody else. And it's just plan on this year. We're going to get this one under our belt. As Kyle was saying, he's got some ideas about a kind of a UFC style event along with the tournament. So we're going to go from there, get this one done, and then hopefully have it scheduled in the books for next year.
Awesome. And then I have to ask you, you were basically you're the former super match maker. Anybody that picks a super match, I mean, you got to have you have to have some knowledge. You know, you have to have some knowledge of the pullers, and is it going to be a fast match? Is it going to be a grudge match? Is it going to be entertaining, or what? So, have you faced any challenges like setting up super matches? Because it seems like there's fewer super matches, obviously, with Eli and Justin just this year as the highlight. Compared to the previous years, because I mean, some of these super matches that you've had before were just explosive. So has anything changed in the past?
Yeah, the budget's changed. We had a much larger budget to go with before. So I was able to fly these guys out more, get more of them here. This year we went with Eli and Justin pulling right and left hand, and then we chose to use the rest of our surplus to get Devon here, which I think is going to be a great draw for the event. Looking really forward to having him here and going from there. And next year, like I said, hopefully we'll grow and have more.
Awesome. And so real quick, I'm not sure if this is a Kyle and Billy question to ask at the same time, or if Bill had anything to do with it, but I got to know, because the guy that's coming up here is literally like the pinup, supermodel for every arm wrestler in the entire world. I mean, everybody wants to touch this guy and be a part of this guy's life. How in the world did you get Devon Larratt to show up to Hawthorne, Nevada in September? How did you do that?
I let Bill handle that. That's how we did that.
Well, let me jump in on there.
Bill is arm wrestling Jesus. That's how it happened.
No, you. All right, Kyle. This is going to be your nickname, Jesus. And to expand on that question, the super matches are getting harder and harder to put on. And I'm just going to be brutally honest. The arm wrestlers have gotten spoiled when they think about the East versus West, the KOT, what UAL used to do in the past when we didn't have a budget. And it's still stuck in their mind. Everybody thinks that they are still that elite puller with the elite price tag. And when we start looking at a budget, we've only got so much to spend to make something happen. We wanted to make this event something special, and we wanted to look at these special super matches. And when Billy started reaching out, and myself as well, it ended up getting to the point where we had to shift our thought process and look at what else we could do to substitute it, for the simple fact that the call out and the cry out for super matches have been there, but the price tag also has been inflated to a point where we can't hardly afford to have a bunch of them like Billy did. And with the help of Kyle down there, he was able to dig in his budget a little bit better and said, "Hey, what about this or what about that?" We kicked it around, put our heads together, and we came up with a couple of really good names that we thought we'd reach out to. And we're very, very lucky to combine a visit with Devon on his traveling path. So it worked out good for him, and it worked out really good for us.
Well, that's awesome to know. And Devon is a great guy, in and out. I mean, he's just a really good face for the arm wrestling world, and he's always a great guy to take a second to teach somebody how to arm wrestle. And everybody that goes is obviously going to get an opportunity to shake his hand and pull with him for a little bit, because we all know that guy's endurance level is through the roof. So, and just speaking of what Bill just said, anybody that remembers arm wrestling 10, 15 years ago, even 30 years ago, most people would travel 800 miles and pay their rent money to enter a tournament for a $15 trophy. Those days are obviously gone, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry that just floated his way out of the amateurs wants $1,500 traveling money, a deluxe suite at the Holiday Inn. They want all the perpetuities. And, it's just impossible. So, when you got people out there that are still remembering the good old days and they're still showing up to championships and supporting leagues and supporting the people that are putting these on, the promoters, which is not easy, by the way. Promoters definitely do not get a fair shake at life because they're out there doing all the footwork. They're putting in some of their own money at times too. They're getting sponsored. It's a whole 9 yards. And so hats off to the people that have been doing this. Bill's been doing this for a long time too as well. Billy and Kyle are busting their ass to make sure that this tournament is amazing. So let's start giving out some information about this actual event. It's going to be on September 20th, 2025, just in case somebody, there's going to be a knucklehead out there thinking, oh, is it 2026? Sorry, bro, I didn't know. So it's 2025, September 20th at the Convention Center, the USO Building in Hawthorne, Nevada. What are the hotels that people can check in and stay at?
So the El Capitan is
right here, right now, what to think of, like I say, what to think of Kyle. He's been one of our key players, or is the key player to making this thing happen. We got some rooms reserved, or we have a group of rooms reserved at the Travelodge. But when you book it, if you go online, you're going to notice that they have no rooms available. That's because they're not doing online reservations. It may, if you put in the code UAL 2025. That's the code. And we're talking about a deep discount. You're looking at a room for $75 at this place. You got the casino right across the street from it. A lot of things. It's right down in the heart of Hawthorne, so everything is somewhat walking distance. But keep that in mind. The rooms are going fast. We don't have a lot in the booking or in the group code for the simple fact they got the pyro event going on at the same time. But keep this in mind right here. Travelodge code UAL 2025. And if you want the phone number, it's 775-945-3321. If you don't mention the group code, you might not get the room. Take advantage of the cost of the room and being right down in the middle of town.
Awesome.
And thanks, Kyle, for hooking us up with that.
Awesome. So Saturday, September 20th, 2025 at the Convention Center USO Building in Hawthorne, Nevada. Now, Friday, September 19th, 2025, our early weigh-ins. What time do they need to be there, and where is this early weigh-ins going to be held?
So this is what we're going to do, and we're going to be taking advantage of Devon on this. And you might want to jump in on this, Billy, because you set this thing up with Barley's. We're going to be looking at doing some early weigh-ins. We haven't set a time yet, but we'll be there at least by 5 o'clock. We don't know how long we'll hold it till maybe 8. I'm going to say 5 to 8. It may go a little bit longer. Just depends how tired this old man gets. But, Devon will be there with us hanging out, giving some tips and tricks. You want to grab a hold of his arm and give yourself a little tug. He's even willing to do that. So again, Barley's right down in the middle of town. Come enjoy a few drinks, have some food, have some good company, weigh in early, and let's get ready to rock for the next day.
Awesome. And so tell me about the super match, Justin and Eli. Does anybody want to pick favorites? Does anybody want to talk about what they expect? And why was Justin and Eli, why were they picked for this super match? Because you know what, these two guys are seriously endurance hounds. And I've seen Justin pull for many, many years, and Eli is absolutely amazing as well. I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, this is a real hard call for me. I've always been a huge Justin fan, not just, it has nothing to do with Eli at all. I've just always been a Justin. He's got a lot of energy. He was an immediate character for the UAL right from the get-go. Nobody even knew who this kid was, all the way from Alabama. And he just put on a show. And I was immediately had this just this feeling that this guy is going to be big, and I was not wrong. So I'm definitely rooting for Justin, but I'm also rooting for, just an absolute bloodbath on that table. What do you guys think?
I'll keep my comments to myself because I don't know.
Well,
if
Bill,
I'm
I wasn't
the
really
ref or
talking
not,
to
so
you weren't even.
Billy and Kyle
the
could jump in
referee
on this.
Crying out loud. Billy, Kyle, what do you think about this match?
I mean, I'm excited for it. I've when I first got into arm wrestling, actually, I think one of the last matches I lost was to Bishop, and kind of I don't know. I don't want to say grew up watching, but like I said, when I first got in the sport, I really studied him. I like his style. Eli, I didn't know too well, but I watched him pull in Hawthorne, I believe against Ole, and man, the dude he's a stud. He's a warrior, and I expect nothing less than a war. I can't wait.
Well, I suggest that everybody gets their cameras out because it's going to be pretty spectacular.
Agree.
This is just like, I mean, I can't wait. What do you think, Billy? What do you think is going to happen with this match?
It's a good one. I mean, that's across the board. We've had Justin here a couple times. Eli's been here. Justin's actually a good friend of mine. We talk about hunting more than we do arm wrestling, but he's been training so hard. And when he started calling people out. He kind of disappeared for a while because he's got family life and stuff to do. But when I see the training videos and the look he's got, it's going to be real hard for me to bet against him on either hand. But it's going to be close. Eli is a tough son of a gun, and you can't ever count him out. So, but in my book, I'm going to go with Bishop, right and left.
Right and left. Okay. And that's the crazy thing too. I mean, it's just watching arm wrestling all over. I mean, some days the guy you would never expect just comes in and just dominates, just out of nowhere. And so I'm really excited about seeing the actual match. I wish there was going to be a few more super matches out there, but apparently the arm wrestling world has turned into a bunch of prima donnas who want $5,000 up front, their planes paid for, and overnight stay at the embassy suites. But hopefully arm wrestling gets back to what it used to be, to where people just want to genuinely compete. And I think that's going to be a great day. I think we should close up here real quick, but I would like to do this one more time, if you guys wouldn't mind getting together and doing this one more time. And then we can, blast up some hotel information, some different things that you guys would like to as well before the event, and really get people, because the hardest part about social media isn't actually putting stuff up. It's actually getting people to see it. Right now, who knows who's going to see this? And that's just the chance you take at social media. But I think if we do this one more time and we announce that we're coming on to give out some specifics of this, I think it's really going to draw a crowd, because you guys put on a really good show. And if anybody's ever seen anything like this going on right here on the screen, these matches and just the ambiance itself is just really, really amazing. And you guys put together some really, really great arm wrestling tournaments. So I'm looking forward to what Kyle was talking about, because you just never know. Nobody thought that Dana White was ever going to turn a backyard sport into something as spectacular as it is at this moment. And for anybody that's ever walked into, the MGM, in the UFC Coliseum, which some of us have, some of us together, it's a great, great feeling. And imagine having that for something that you love so much in the arm wrestling world. That would be incredible. And to know that you had a part in creating that. So final words for Kyle, Billy, and then we'll go to Bill, and then we're going to end this. And then hopefully we can all agree to do this again. And hopefully Devon can stop training and come in and join us one day. That would be kind of cool. So Kyle, final words and some hopefuls for the upcoming event.
Yeah. So final words, I'd say I kind of challenged Devon to a match, and I think that's why he's kind of backing out right now. So I hope he sees that. But anyway, no, really excited for this event. I mean that sincerely. I'm not trying to sound cliche. I really think this is something. This is the first baby, but I think this is going to grow to be huge. Having Billy and Bill as partners in this is truly it's a blessing, and I promise you, if people just trust and believe in this, this will grow to be huge. For this being a first-year event, I feel like the money is very, very good for the first year, and it's only going to grow. Trust me. It was the same thing when we ran the rodeo. It was like, oh, you're not going to spend that much yet. No, we did it. We pulled it off, and it's only going to continue to grow with every single thing. My passion, even though I don't arm wrestle anymore, I've always loved this sport, and I would love to see this thing grow. And you have my word that if this trio right here stays together, I guarantee you that happens, and it happens right here in Hawthorne, Nevada, in Mineral County.
That's amazing, Kyle. And honestly, I truly hope that that happens, because the hardest part in the arm wrestling community is to get people involved in supporting one particular thing, because there's so many different things to support at one time. And Bill, if Bill believes in you, if Billy, I mean, it's obviously a really, really good thing, and you're doing a really good thing for the arm wrestling world. So I'm hoping that people will see that, and you never know. I mean, this could be bigger than you're even explaining. So this is awesome. So
Hey,
Billy,
I appreciate you saying that, because you know what, it's money talks, man. And you put it up, you get guys here, they show up, and everything we advertise, we pay.
absolutely.
Bill and Billy have been involved in this way longer than I have, but every tournament they've ran before, it's the same thing, and people come from all over. It's like,
And
wow.
and Kyle, in your experience in the arm wrestling, what happens to people that don't show up to an event that they know they could have won?
You know, I'm a competitor myself, and it's so easy to say that, but you know what? You didn't show up. You know,
You
if
didn't
you
show
don't
up.
show up, I don't want to hear it, man. You don't want to lose your rank. You don't want to. I don't want to sound like that guy right now, because I'm not arm wrestling, but I still do many other sports, and it's like, if you know you can win the show the fuck up and win.
And if you don't show up, you don't get paid. So those are just great. So,
Thank you. That's the best way to say it.
awesome, Kyle. And seriously, man, I'm supporting you 190%. So you have my full support on this, and I can't wait to see what you have planned. Billy, final thoughts from you.
I'm just glad to see it coming back to Hawthorne again. Our events in the past have been top notch. I mean, the one we did, I think it was in 22, was probably the best tournament in the nation, really. And that may sound arrogant or whatever, but we had people stacked up, you know, to see it, to watch it, to compete in it, and the level of talent was just second to none. Like you say, you put out a good product, everybody shows up. I mean, this little town, when you got Cobra Rhodes and the rest of these guys, legends in the sport, showing up just because it's a good time, and you show them a good time and have a good event and pay out what you say. That's what it is. You know, like you hit on before, that people don't travel or want to do anything. I remember guys driving 200, 300, 400 miles just because a guy in the neighboring town, you know, said, "Hey, I think this guy could whoop your ass." And I said, "Well, get in the truck and let's go find out." You know, now you can't get them to drive over a hill to make 500, $600. You know.
Billy, it's funny that you say that. And I'm going to say that in closing, because I want to give Billy a chance to talk. But you bring up a really good point, and the one person I know there's a lot of them, and I know everybody knows his name, Tim Lewis. Tim Lewis was pulling for, I think, before Bill even was born. And Tim has put so many, I think he's had probably like 30 different cars. That guy
He's been here.
drive across the entire country to get to a tournament. So, I mean, there's arm wrestlers like that out there, but we got to have more. And, you know, that with advances in modern technology, I mean, anything is possible at this point to get to a tournament, especially if there's really, really good money involved. So I'm really looking forward to all this. So, and I really thank you and Kyle, Billy, for being here today and putting this on with Bill. Bill, final thoughts.
Well, there's so many thank yous that I need to put out there that I'll probably forget names, but the two on the screen are the biggest contributors that I have to pat their back, for the simple fact that doing what they do is thankless. And the only reward really that they get is to see an ass-kicking event happen in their hometown, and we get a lot of people over there to compete. You know, we've gotten a lot of people that are interested in coming. And, you know, I'm hoping that we could bring this thing back to a different level, whole new level with Kyle involved. Buck Hall was an amazing dude to keep the thing going. Same with Billy, being able to be his sidekick. I'm pretty pleased to be able to steal Billy from Buck, and super pleased to have Kyle on board, because, like I say, without Kyle, it wouldn't be possible. One thing that, you know, we touched on a couple things, but you know, one thing that arm wrestlers need to consider is there's not a lot of money events anymore. They're award events, and some of these awards that I see some of these promoters giving away, you should be buying the awards for me, because they're how can I say, it's a little award, okay? And we, we hang our hat on giving some nice stuff away because we know that people are going to be spending money, taking time away from their family, and we want to give them something nice to remember. The nice thing about having Billy and Kyle and a few other people on board is putting on an event is so much work, and it's better to get 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And when we start grouping the team together and we start promoting together, that's when we become successful on anything that we do. There's 12 different weight classes, 6 right, 6 left, over $8,500 that we're giving away. Best prize money that we've seen in a long time. Like Kyle said, he doesn't want to let the cat out of the bag, but support this event. Let's make it grow. And next year, you're going to see some really crazy stuff that may be happening with this event. So keep that in mind. Even if you, there's a lot of family fun stuff going on over there too. It's a really cool place to visit. You said it yourself, it's out in the middle of nowhere, but once you get there, you want to camp out there for a while because it's pretty cool to see some of the stuff that they have. And again, Monroe County is backing us up on this thing, thanks to Kyle. And, we plan on putting on an ass-kicking show that's going to be memory for years.
Damn right.
That's amazing. Well, Billy, and Kyle, this has been great. I'd like to set up another live here maybe next week if you guys have time. I think the more exposure, the more time we talk, the better it will get, the more people will get involved. And sometimes you just need to tell people over and over and over again so they listen because, we have money to win. We have a tournament that needs support, and we have a growing league here that Kyle is just going to explode with the help of Billy and the UAL. Dreams can be made, but there has to be support behind those dreams, or that's all they are is dreams. So hats off to Kyle and Billy and Bill Collins. You guys are doing amazing things, and I couldn't be more proud to hang out with a better group. And Devon, if you're out there training, goodness gracious, take a day off.
He's still hiding.
Take a bath, relax. Hopefully we'll have Devon here next time, but he will definitely be and Hawthorne. And Bill reminded me, I haven't been to Hawthorne in quite a few years, but Bill reminded me that Hawthorne isn't just that little ghost town anymore. It's actually growing. So, just don't think of it as Hawthorne. It's getting bigger. So just remember that. And just throwing a little arm wrestling into that equation, and it could be the new Petaluma. So let's just say that out loud. All right, Billy, and Kyle, thank you so much for being here tonight. And we will definitely do this next week. And this was a lot of fun. So where is everybody going to be on the 20th of September?
Hawthorne.
Right.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Have a great night, everybody. See you there.
Sounds good, brother. I'll see you guys. You guys have a good night. Thank you.